Well, I was kind of late hitting the go live button, but here we are. We are live.
I don't
It
think it
is-
matters.
Yeah. Well, I hit it, and then I thought that it went, and I'm sitting here for 20 seconds, and I noticed that it says go live. I'm like, why does it say that? Didn't I already hit that? So I hit it again. Howdy, everybody. Welcome. I found out last week after our little meeting that I had COVID, and I still have COVID, and that's fun and wonderful. How's everybody's week been? We are starting with Joshua chapter 4, verse 1 for our reading tonight. We already have a few people watching, so whoever's watching, give us a little shout out down there in the comments and say hello so we know who's here. And yeah, we'll get started in a few minutes. Jonathan, you got anything to say before we get started?
Nope. I'm over my COVID as you're getting over yours.
It's a COVID world right now, isn't it?
It's a COVID world. Hello, Glenn from Denver. Hello, Rasmus. Welcome in.
Indeed. Hi, Glenn, and hi, Rasmus. Welcome back, guys. Nice to see you. Today's Colton's birthday, so I don't know if he's going to be joining us or not, but I do hope he shows up. Hi, Muriel. Welcome. And Adele. Welcome, guys. So good to see you. Can't really see you, but, to see your words popping up, if you know what I mean. For the most part, I'm feeling a lot better than what I was. I do have a residual cough going on, so that's something we're going to have to deal with as the night progresses. There is something I wanted to share with you guys before we get started. If I can get this cough out of me, I'm sorry. I could feel it the whole time I was talking. It's like just building up. So I'm going to share the screen real quick. This is a Facebook group that they put together a couple of years ago. Greek and Hebrew 1-year Bible reading group. They have, hi Adefia, welcome. They have here a reading schedule that they put together with both the Old Testament, Tanakh, and the New Testament. And you just choose what you want to do. I'm going through with the group just on the Tanakh in Hebrew. You can read the Septuagint in Greek. You can read the New Testament. You read the Hebrew Bible, whatever you want. And the group is open for discussion of whatever you happen to find. Like I just posted the other day, said the Esau genealogy was a nightmare to read. I've already finished Genesis. I finished it about a week early. I just read through it really quick, and I've started Exodus already. But if anybody is interested, send me a message. My email address is jason@thehebrewcafe.com. Send me an email, and I'll give you a link perhaps to the I've got I'll show you. If I'm doing this right.
And look at who that first person was to invite the suggestion. Of course it's me.
I don't know what you're talking about, sorry.
You saw my picture. Invite your friends. It said with me.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't look. But Jonathan was supposed to read along, but he's not doing it. And Colton hasn't started yet either, but maybe they won't. I don't know. But I put them a column here. If you want, I can add you a column, and you just copy the check mark and you paste it under your name for whatever section you've done. If you want to just read along, but you don't have to. I can just I can send you just a link so you can download the reading yourself if you want. You done the first one?
I've done the first two.
Really?
One through 6. But I've got a ways to go. That's up to you.
But the idea is that you read like 2-3 chapters a day, and you'll finish the Tanakh by the end of the year in Hebrew. Just if you're interested, it's something you might want to work through. It's something that a number of us do every year, kind of as a New Year's resolution. Something you might work through if you're interested. And I also advertise our reading group on here, just for fun. And that's that. We are in the book of Joshua. Last week we finished chapter 3. So this week we're going to start chapter 4. Just to look ahead, these are the first 10 verses of the book, of the chapter anyway. I just wanted to show them so you could see all of the verses that we prepared for today in case we get through them all. I'm not sure how far we're going to get, but we'll get through more if we get started. Unfortunately, Luke will not be joining us today. He's also under the weather. He's gone through a minor operation. So, all right. So I'll start in verse 1 because I want to do verse 3. So this verse says, let me grab the pen. Vayihi ka'asher tamu, notice the accents on the front there, tamu kol hagoy la'avor et hayarden, vayomer Adonai el Yoshua lemor. So this is obviously introducing speech. The speech is going to come in the next verse. Vayihi, and it was ka'asher tamu, when they had finished. This is like the word tom. It means whole or complete, finish. Ka'asher tamu chol hagoy, the whole nation, that is the nation of Israel, to cross over the Jordan. That is when they had all crossed over the Jordan. God said, the Lord said to Joshua, saying. So it's introducing speech in the next verse. Notice the awkwardness of the temporal clause. And it was when this happened, and he said. The and is an odd feature of Hebrew, of course. We don't have to translate the and. We can say, when all the people had crossed over the Jordan, the Lord said to Joshua. So we don't need all those ands, but they are a feature of the Hebrew. And sometimes that might cause confusion when we're interpreting a passage, but it would be individual. You'd have to look at the passage itself. Comments or questions, preguntas o comentarios, before we move on to the next verse. That's what my Spanish teacher used to say, like preguntas o comentarios, right? Questions or comments before we move on. You guys should feel free to use the live chat a lot more actively than you do. Like talk with each other. It's interesting for us to see how the thoughts are just going through your head. If you want to type out the verse, if you want to ask questions while it's going, you don't even need to wait till the end. Just ask your questions and we'll get to you. We can put stars on your questions and come back to them afterwards. So please feel free to be engaged and engaging. And we'll move on to the next verse with Jonathan.
All right. K'chu lachem min ha'am shneim asar.
Throw those together, right? Shneim asar.
Yes, I know. I'm reading slowly because people asked us to read slowly. Shneim asar. I'm sorry. Shneim asar anashim. Ish echad mitavet.
No.
Shavet, sorry.
Me.
Shavet, yes. So, take for yourselves from among the people 12 men, ish echad, I guess one man by one man, or each man, mishavet, from the tribe, or from a tribe.
So, one man from each tribe.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Did you look this up in the BHS by any chance?
No, but I have it here. Let's see. Yes, so K'chu, it's got the first two words. It suggests that they should be singular.
Yeah, they're in the Septuagint and the Vulgate.
Yep.
The beginning of the verse is singular, not plural. Also, the beginning of the next verse. Think about why. Verse 1 says, "And when all the nation had finished crossing the Jordan, God said to Joshua." To Joshua, He spoke to Joshua. He didn't speak to Joshua and all of Israel, but He said to Joshua, so it would be singular. Kach lecha min ha'am. Take for yourself. Did you translate? I'm sorry. Did you translate the whole thing?
Yes. Okay. The lachem is also lacking in the Septuagint and the Vulgate. So it changes it to the singular. Kach min ha'am would be the whole line.
Yeah.
And interesting, Shnei Masar is lacking.
In the Septuagint, in the early Septuagint, the Old Greek. Yep. So it says, Kach min ha'am anashim ish echad mishavet, if we were reconstructing it. Because it also says some Hebrew manuscripts are missing the repetition of the ish echad. So take for yourself from the people men, one man from each tribe. I think that even sounds better. And verse 3 also starts with the singular. Instead of vitzavu, it says vitzav. Vitzav otam lemor. I'm going to change it to singular because I think it sounds better.
It's a text critical mess.
Vitzav otam lemor. So maybe it says,
maybe we have a very uneducated scribe.
Let's not assume that people are less informed than we are. Vitzav otam lemor. The text literally says vitzavu otam. Savu otam because it's plural, but he's talking only to Joshua. Vitzav otam lemor, and command them, saying. Now it would make sense for it to be plural because now he's talking to the people that he's chosen from the 12 tribes. Se'u lachem mizeh. Mizeh is talking about the place from here. Zeh means hamakom hazeh, this place. Se'u lachem mizeh. Pick up for yourselves from here. From the midst of the Jordan, mitoch hayarden, mi matzav raglei kohanim, matzav raglei kohanim. Kohanim is the priests, and raglei kohanim is the feet of the priests. Matzav is the place, the location, the place of the feet of the priests. In modern Hebrew, we use the word matzav to mean situation. But literally is from the word nitzav, means standing. It's a place where you stand. So from the place of the feet of the priests, that is where the priests' feet are standing. Hachin shtem esrei avanim. We saw in the last verse, shnem asar. I don't know if we can you see everything? Let me go back here. I'll get rid of our faces. Okay. Shneim asar. Oh, yeah. Going between screens right and left. Okay. Shneim asar is for masculine. It goes with masculine. Shneim asar anashim. 12 men. Shneim asar anashim. But the feminine has that taf, shtem esrei avanim. This is feminine. Shtem esrei avanim. I don't know. Right.
Shnaim to shnaim.
You shouldn't think of it that way. You just think of numbers. Like eser, asara. Eser is feminine, asara is masculine. Achadasar goes with masculine. Achadasar. Achatesrei goes with feminine. Shnemasar, shtemesrei. Shloshasar, shloshaasar. Like they just they pair together. I wouldn't think of it as construct.
Contractions.
I mean, that's what happened. There's a vowel contraction, yes, but I wouldn't call it construct. Necessary.
Yeah. Well, I was just wondering about the contraction.
Well, sometimes you will find it as shnei asar and shtei asar. So that would be the literal construct of the ending of shnaim and shtaim. Anyway, shtem esrei avanim, 12 stones. Why 12? Because that's how many tribes there are, okay? 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗡𝗥𝗡 otam. The otam here is the stones. Okay, you will carry them over, pass them over, 𝗥𝗓𝗦𝗡𝗥, with you. Okay, bring them over with you. Because they're crossing the river, and the river is dried up. They're walking on dry ground. They pick up stones, 12 stones from the riverbed that's been dried up, and they bring them over with them. והנחתם אותם במלון אשר תלינו בו הלילה. There are a couple of problematic things here. First, if we're thinking about the verbs, obviously, lehavir is to, it's the hifil of avar. Avar is pass over. He'avir is he brought over. He caused to cross. So they bring over. Lehaniach is hifil. Lehaniach is from nuach. And nuach is the word for resting. Like Noah, the guy from the ark. The word for rest itself as a noun is menucha. Menucha. Lehaniach is to cause something to rest or to put it down. Like I have a cup. I have a cup of Coke Zero because it's what I like to drink. That's who I am. Let's see. This is my cup. Coke Zero. Ani meniach et hakos. I put the cup down. I put it down. I cause it to rest. This is the verb lehaniach. So the past tense here is hinachtem. Hinachtem. It's hifil. You cause to rest, or it's the vekatal, so it's the future. You will cause them to rest, or you will put them down. Okay, the next word is malon. Malon is the word that we use in modern Hebrew for a hotel or an inn, a place where you sleep. It's a place with the mem prefix. The mem prefix is for places that you will lalin, talinu, you will lodge. The word is lodge generally in English, lodge. The place where you sleep. So the place where you will sleep in it tonight. So where they would go to sleep that night, they would put the stones there as a memorial. Great. Notice there's one grammatical discord issue, that avanim, even though it ends in im, is feminine. Okay, and shtemesrei avanim, this is a feminine expression, but the direct object that is referring over to them is in the masculine here, otam, instead of otan. Grammatically, for accord is agreement. For grammatical accord, we would expect otan and not otam, but we often see disagreement in grammatical gender.
Did you hear what I said about the Akkadian earlier?
Yeah, but I don't know that has an effect in Hebrew at that time.
No, but it would explain why sometimes it takes masculine endings and sometimes it takes feminine endings. If there were originally both masculine and feminine forms in Akkadian, it could have carried over.
Do you hear of such a thing with the word like shemesh, sun? Because shemesh is sometimes masculine and sometimes feminine in the text.
Yeah.
Also ruach. Ruach is spirit. Sometimes masculine, sometimes feminine.
Yep, I bet it's a similar issue.
No, I think that this is feminine for sure. I don't think that avanim is ever masculine, but it's just sometimes they fudge. But whatever. All right, cool. We're in verse 4. Glenn wanted to add that stone is feminine, so I think that's why 12 stones is feminine. Exactly. So, shtem esrei avanim. Shtem esrei avanim. You'd say shtei avanim if it were two. Good.
So, verse 4. Vayikra Yoshua el shneim ה-10 ish asher hechin mivnei Yisrael.
Not mivnei. Mivnei is like this.
Mibnei.
Mibnei. Mivnei is a building or structure, and bnei is different.
Yeah, mibnei. Mibnei Yisrael, ish echad, mishavet. Didn't I already read that? No, it's just saying that he did it.
Yeah. Why does it say shneim ה-10? Shneim ה-10 ish.
It's got the definite article on it. And then it's distributive.
All right, you want to read it? Translate it?
Yeah, so Joshua called to the 12 men who kun is established, right? Who were standing, right?
It's this. The subject here is, who is the subject of this verb?
Asher hechin mibnei Yisrael.
Who is hechin? Who did it? Mi hechin.
I do not know.
Joshua.
Oh, okay. So where he was standing.
So Joshua called to the 12 men whom he had prepped, or he had prepared.
Oh.
From the sons of Israel.
From among the sons of Israel. Ish echad. One man or two men from each tribe. Nope, one man from each tribe.
All right.
So the first one, ish echad, is the one man, and the second ish echad is this distributed each, right? Or is it the other way around?
These are the same thing. They're not adding anything. You don't need it. You don't need the second one. It's just emphasizing. One man from a tribe. Means one man from each tribe.
Right.
Yeah. Shneim ה-10, the 12. The 12 men. Yep. You're going to find a lot of different arrangements with these things. When it's a number that's definite, you could say shneim asar ha-anashim. Shneim asar ha-anashim. You'll find it in different ways. So this is a possibility. But ה-10 is he because it's before ayin with kamatz that's not stressed. Any questions? Any comments? If we want to say questions and comments in Hebrew instead of in Spanish, preguntas o comentarios, we say sheilot is questions, o ha'arot comments. Sheilot o ha'arot, questions or comments. All right, here we go, verse 5. We're pushing through again. Tell us if we're reading too fast, guys. You are not being very interactive with us. We like interactivity. Vayomer lahem Yehoshua. Vayomer lahem Yehoshua. Joshua said to them, that is to the 12 men that he set aside, right? Ivru. This is la avor. Avar, ivru. Why ivru? Because this is the imperative. The imperative is formed from the future. Ta'avru. We get rid of the first thing, and this is really shva. And the two shvas, because of rule of shva, the first one converts. Ivru. Go across. Ivru lifnei Aron Adonai Elohechem El toch hayarden Veharimu lachem V'harimu lachem. Harim, leharim. We've already seen that he told them, Se'u lachem. Se'u lachem. This is from the word nasa. Nasa, to carry, to lift up. Hirim, leharim. Hirim is another way of saying nasa. It means to go, to make it go up. You pick it up. Leharim. Leharim is to lift. Like laset. Laset is to lift or to carry. Harimu lachem. Ish, this is each person. Okay, this is plural and this is singular, so it's saying each person raise up for yourselves a stone, even achat, one stone, al shichmo, on his, not shoulder, but this part behind your back. Like, we say this on your shoulder, but it means like behind your neck, where you carry something that's heavy. Le mispar, according to the number of Shivtei V'nei Yisrael, the tribes of the Israelites. Okay. I think I covered all the verbs there. Notice Adonai Elohechem. Elohechem, your God. Good. Muriel says she is keeping up. So we're doing good on speed. And also the explanations are fire. They are fire. They're right on. All right. Anything with that verse? I think it's good.
No, I just have one thing to say. Quit acting younger than you are.
Yeah, I think I got the word fire from your little explanation of how people talk today.
Oh yeah, the millennial speak or generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say such funny things.
It is. Yep.
I noticed when reading through that list that there are a whole bunch of those things that I've heard people say, and I had no idea what they were saying.
My favorite one is drip.
What's that?
Like an outfit with bling, like a fancy outfit.
How do they say it?
Drip. Weird.
Drip.
Hey, nice drip. You know, that kind of thing.
Oh, they say nice drip?
Yeah.
I've never heard. Guys, I just don't know. I'm too old. I'm 44.
Yeah. I didn't know.
I just don't have it anymore.
It was funny because they had put Generation Y, X, and Y slangs next to the new ones, and I was like, oh yeah, this is actually helpful.
Yeah.
Like fire is the bomb.
The bomb.
Anyway.
Yeah, I learned that from you. I learned it by watching you.
Oh.
That's also from our generation, I think.
That's sweet.
Yeah. Oh my God, we are hitting verse 6. This is problematic. We're hitting verse 6 and we've only prepared up to 10. We might have to go all the way through the whole chapter.
That's fine. So, Lama'an tehye zot ot. Zot ot. Bekir bechem. Ki yish'alun b'nechem mahar lemor. Ma ha'avanim ha'ele lachem. Or ha'ele, if you want. That's how I learned to say it.
I wasn't highlighting while you were reading. I do apologize. Okay, so Laman tiyeh zot ot b'kirbechem ki yish'alun b'nechem machar lemor ma ha'avanim ha'ele lachem. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, well, this is weird, isn't it?
Well, Lama'an is used many times with the future. I would like Adele to tell us about this.
That would be...
I'll tell you what. We are doing, Adele is in my class that's doing Deuteronomy. And I venture, as most scholars do, I'm not a scholar, but as most biblical scholars say, who do not belong to the fundamentalist class, is, that Deuteronomy and Joshua were written by the same author. If you read Deuteronomy, you will see lema'an used all the time with an imperfect, a 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗪, to say in order that this would happen. And another wonderful thing is that I think it happens 4, maybe 5 times in the book of Deuteronomy, where it says, when your son asks you tomorrow, saying blah, blah, blah. And this passage cuts directly in to the book of Deuteronomy. And there's a lot that we've read already that feeds directly into Deuteronomy, and the connection between these books is stupendous. I don't know if you've noticed it, Adele, but I hope that you have in your reading, that the structures and the themes of Deuteronomy feed straight from that book into Joshua.
Yep. So then it would be so that this might be a sign in your midst. Ki 𝗔𝗓𝗦𝗡𝗏, when your sons ask tomorrow, saying, or you could just leave that out. Maham avanim ha'ele. What are these stones? What are these stones for you, or for for you? I guess for all of you. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. Oh, it means, what do these stones mean to you, right?
Yeah.
What are these stones to you? What are they? And the whole, when your children ask tomorrow, it even uses that word in the book of Deuteronomy, tomorrow, and it doesn't really mean tomorrow. It means afterward, anytime. I said in that other course that these verses have been pulled into the Passover Seder and turned into 4 different children types of children who might ask a question, one in wisdom, one in naivety, another one in, how do you say, Zidon, like he's a wicked son, 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗪𝗏, like the wicked son.
Jason, we have a new viewer. Carlos. Welcome, Carlos.
Hello, Carlos.
I don't think I've seen Carlos before, but he likes it.
Wonderful. Wunderbar. All right, so you might look into that with regard to the Passover Seder, and it ties in here too. Great. So we are in verse 7. We are kicking its tail today. Kicking its tail. See how you keep it clean. Va'amartem lahem, and you shall say, this is the plural, right? Va'amartem, it's v'katal, future. You will say to them, Asher nichretu meimei hayarden. Meimei is the same thing as mei. It means waters of. It's a construct from mayim. Meimei hayarden mipnei aron brit Adonai. Be'ovro bayarden. Ovro here is referring to the ark. Where did the ark go? Way over here. When it crossed, in its crossing in the Jordan. Nichretu mei hayarden. See, mei hayarden and mei hayarden, it's the same thing, the waters of the Jordan. Vehayu, okay, they will be. Vehayu ha'avanim ha'ele lezikaron livnei Yisrael ad olam. So you shall say to them, when the waters of the Jordan were split, that is, they were cut, right? They were split. Nifal, this is the Nifal of Karat. Nifal of Karat. They were cut, they were split. When the waters of the Jordan were split from before the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord in its crossing in the Jordan, okay? The waters of the Jordan were split. It kind of is funny that when they were split, but they were split. And these stones will be for a memory or a reminder for the children of Israel forever. Ad olam, forever. Until the age, means until perpetuity. Means that they didn't see a time when these stones would not stand and would not symbolize to the people of Israel that they had crossed the River Jordan. And where are those stones today? I don't know. I'm not sure where they say that these stones were set up. Does anybody recall?
I'm not sure they actually existed.
Because when they talk about like the burial of Abraham and Sarah and Isaac and Rebecca and such, they talk about the cave of 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗪𝗏 in Hebron, and we can go today to Hebron. We can go there. Well, we can't really go there, but you could if you had the right passport. You could go there, and they have the cave there where they say that the patriarchs are buried. So could it be that we have some place where there's a heap of stones that are supposed to be a memorial of the crossing of the Jordan River? I don't know. If it's something you've heard of, I'd be interested in that. I can't believe that we're pushing through these verses so fast. Last week, we ran through them really quickly, but the difference was that last week we were feeling pretty under the weather and we wanted to push. Today, I think we've been taking our time, trying. I hope that we are taking our time, that you guys are following along. I don't know. Am I reading too fast? Because I feel like we're accomplishing a lot.
It's because we're not going off on tangents.
Okay, so what tangents can we push into so we can save some verses for next week?
Why do you think? Why do you think that the first and second line repeat themselves but use a different form for water? I find that very interesting.
Did you say something earlier about 𝗔𝗕𝗦𝗏?
I did, but that was before I noticed that may and may were different.
Let's see what this says. It says this section is missing from both the Septuagint and the Vulgate. So it only happens once. So in the Vulgate it would say, and you shall say to them, or in the Septuagint, you shall say to them, when the maybe Asher could be that in this case, that the waters of the Jordan were split from before the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord in its crossing in the Jordan.
Say when, right? When the waters were split.
I already said that before, and now I'm trying to handle it differently for a reason.
Okay. My bad.
You'll say to them that the waters of the Jordan were split from before the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord in its crossing in the Jordan, and these stones will be for a reminder to the children of Israel forever. Because here I don't see a reason why we would have the word when, because it's two phrases.
Right.
This happened and this will happen. It seems to me. It's always difficult how to handle ki and asher after speech, after the words for speech, because sometimes it might be a subordinator. Hi, Colton. Welcome and happy birthday.
Yes. He's 25. No, I don't know how old he is, but he's a young buck.
A young buck.
You're almost 20 years older than he is. Holy crap.
Oh, my. So we'll say, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Colton, happy birthday to you.
Jason.
And we're glad that you came and spent some time with us on your birthday.
He could be a professional singer if he wanted to.
But instead I want to read Hebrew.
Yes.
Okay, so the fact that the Septuagint deletes that that line could indicate something for us. Could indicate that they also had problems with the repetition. Sababa 27. All right, moving on.
waiting for the screen to change. There it is. Is it my turn again?
Ken.
Okay.
Those who want to know, the word for yes in Hebrew is ken, and the word for no is lo.
Cain. So, ויעשוכן בני ישראל כאשר ציווה יהושע ויישאו, and now we have the feminine, 12 אבנים מתוך הירדן כאשר דיבר אדוני אל יהושע למספר שבטי בני ישראל ויעבירום.
The accent, vayavirum.
Yeah,
because that's a heavy.
Yeah, I thought that was under the bet for some reason. Vayavirum imam el hamalon vayanichum again sham.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So Joshua did, or no, I'm sorry, the sons of Israel did thus, according or just as Joshua commanded, and they carried, or they picked up. They picked up 12 stones from the midst of the Jordan, just as Adonai commanded to Joshua.
Not commanded.
Spoke to Joshua in order to count, or maybe signifying, or something like that.
According to the number of.
Yeah, okay. According to the number of the tribes of the people of Israel. I'll take, make it gender inclusive. Vaya'avorum, he
What's the What's the
They passed over with them, meaning the stones, right?
They brought them over.
Yep. Yeah.
So this is Ya'aviru. Ya'aviru. What is Ya'aviru? Ya'aviru.
Yeah, to cause to pass over.
So it's hifil of avar.
Cause
avar is
pass over.
Avar is come over, and hevir he brought over.
Yep.
And this is again la'niach, and the m on the end of it is, what is the mem? Otam. It's them.
Yes.
Also here is otam, and here is otam. So vayaviru otam becomes vayavirum.
Yep.
Vayanichu otam vayanichum.
Yep.
Okay.
A type 2 pronoun, according to Van Pelt. Well, no, it's not it's an object suffix, not a pronoun. I was thinking of something else. My apologies.
Type 1 and type 2. It sounds like diabetes to me. I don't know. I don't know these typologies and all of those.
Yes.
But I understand why someone would want to have categories and arrangements, but I think that language should just be felt.
Yep. Although it does help some people.
Yeah, those who want to decode
the
language. Yes, indeed. Guys, it's been 44 minutes, and we've gotten through 8 verses. Let's keep going.
Let's. Your turn.
Okay, so we saw in the last verse, we saw shte esre avanim, 12 stones, shte esre. And now we're going to see, again, the diversity of expression with the numbers. Ushtem esre avanim, and 12 stones, ushtem esre avanim, hikim, this is from kum, and it's hifil. Hikim means he stood up, he caused to stand. Lakum is to stand up, to get up. And Hakim is he stood up. He made something stand. Joshua, Hakim Yoshua. Notice the word order. Sorry. This begins with focus and 12 stones. And this is the direct object. Okay, it's the direct object. He raised up, or he stood up, Joshua. This is the subject. This is the verb. So it's object, verb, subject. Verb is in second position. Okay, so the first position is topic, second position is verb, and the third position is subject, and then whatever follows after. We've talked about word order, so it's a good action to look at it, where the verb is in second position because something was topicalized. ו-12 אבנים הקים יהושע בתוך הירדן. בתוך is like בקרב. We've seen בקרבכם. We've seen this in the passage already. בקרב is in the midst of. בקרב, also בתוך, and this is the word tavech. Tavech in construct is toch. In the midst of, betoch hayarden, in the midst of the Jordan, the middle of the Jordan. Tachat matzav raglei akohanim. We already said before, matzav is the place of the feet of the priests, so it's under where the feet of the priests were. And then the priests, the kohanim, are given in a positive. We're describing them. Nosei aron habrit. Nosei aron habrit, the ones who carry the Ark of the Covenant. The priests are the ones who are carrying the Ark of the Covenant, and where their feet are on the ground, Joshua caused 12 stones to stand. He raised up 12 stones. Vayihiyu sham, and they were there. This is in the middle of the water. This is not where they were. These are not the same stones that the people carried to the place where they would be spending the night. These are 12 stones that were set up in the middle of the river on the dry ground where the people were standing, where the priests were standing. And they are there ad hayom hazeh, to this very day. So there were 12 stones that Joshua set apart, one person from each tribe to carry one, and they are taking them to where they're spending the night. And then while they were crossing the river, Joshua picked up 12 stones from the ground and put them at the feet of where the priests were standing to form another heap. And that stands, according to the story, in the middle of the Jordan River until today, as a reminder of the crossing of the river. Any comments, questions, or contradictions? If you want to contradict me, I do enjoy correction, because it says that the fool hates being corrected, but the wise learns from it.
You don't often need to be corrected, so that's
well, we do have one comment. Do you want to comment on that, Jonathan?
Vayihiyu
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So hang on.
If we take it as a verb consecutive, what would it give? It would give us normally the future or past.
Right. So if you took it as a verb, well, yeah, it actually is a verb consecutive in form.
Yes. So would it lead you to the future or to the past?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. Vayihiyu.
So it would ordinarily lead you to the past. Right.
So we have a past tense of was, and then we have a connection of time, ad hayom hazeh. Was, ad hayom hazeh. Was until this day. If it's the past tense and it's brought into the present, we would render that in English with a perfect. They have been, meaning that they remain. Yep. If they have been there until today, it means that they are there until today. That's why I render it that way, if that makes sense.
But yes, you are correct.
Indeed, it is 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗡𝗏, which would normally be a past tense. Indeed. All right. I hope that makes sense to you, Rasmus. Sometimes I explain things to myself in my head, and it makes perfect sense. And then later when I ask Jonathan, hey, what do you think about blah, blah, blah? Then he's like, I don't know.
Because I didn't understand what you were saying.
So sometimes I talk myself into an explanation and then realize that maybe I'm just crazy. I think I got a little bit of crazy going on.
Well, so do I. I mean, I think anybody that reads Hebrew for fun is a little bit nuts.
This is the last verse that we put together on the PowerPoint. Okay. So this has to be the end. But this is 10 verses. Guys, that is an accomplishment in one day. Yallah.
Yeah. Tidbit. Tidbit Glenn offers.
Ah.
Nice little tidbit.
I wasn't aware. While we're doing this, before we do the last verse, and we're talking about like word frequencies, let's do another little advertisement for a book on logos that you can probably get also for a print edition somewhere or other. Let's just make this float. They have these for the Hebrew Bible, for the Septuagint, and for the New Testament. So Hebrew and Greek. A book-by-book guide to biblical Hebrew vocabulary. If you go down to the book of Joshua, click. Before it starts, normally they have, well, I guess not, but how about at the beginning of the whole book, they have a list of highly frequent words. And then it goes list 1 8 to 26 times, and it goes through words that are used more than 8 times in the book of Joshua. List 2, list 3. You can go through and you can work on getting your vocabulary down. Sorry, I'm trying not to cough. Getting your vocabulary down to 1 time, and preparing for reading a book. Go through the vocabulary and make sure that you're familiar with it before you start. Always a good idea. No weird verbs. No, that's true. That's true, because they're all common in this passage. Any opinions on logos versus accordance? I've never used accordance, so I don't really have. I like logos. It does what I need it to do. But I think that accordance would be nice as far as discovering statistical analyses and stuff. But,
I didn't know if I was muted or not. The main advantage of logos as opposed to accordance is I think logos is better for maintaining a digital library just because they have so much more stuff available. But I hear that it's easier to do language stuff, and you can do more language stuff easier than logos, but I haven't yet learned a whole bunch on how to do those kinds of syntax searches with either of them. So,
yeah, I understand that Dan Wallace basically used accordance to put together all of the statistics for his Greek grammar beyond the basics, which that's very impressive. So I think accordance is amazing for statistics and also for syntactic searches.
But I don't know
logos. I use logos all the time. I use it every day, and I quite love it.
I think in my library I had something like 10,000 books or something.
I wouldn't want to switch because I don't want to have to buy a new library. I don't want to start populating and spending more money for another library.
If you ever go to SBL, Logos is always there, and they always offer huge discounts on bundles.
Yeah.
SBL season is a great time to go and expand your libraries.
And one more thing, I plugged the Greek and Hebrew the year reading. We do a year-long reading thing. Again, I want to invite anybody who's interested to the Be Hebrew forum. That is behebrew.biblicalhumanities.org, where you can come and talk about anything that you're interested in. You don't need to wait for a discussion to open a discussion, start asking questions about Hebrew. There are people who are knowledgeable and would like to help you out.
I just noticed that that's PHBBB. That was revolutionary 20 years ago. But
yeah,
I think they have more new stuff now. But I'm very surprised.
This forum has been going on for a long time. We were originally a listserv and moved to forum software, I guess, about 20 years ago, maybe a little bit more than 20 years ago. Colton has an answer for Erasmus. It just depends on what you're doing. They both, that is Logos and Accordance, have their advantages. Accordance takes a little bit longer to learn how to use, and currently it does have greater syntax and word searches. Not just in your opinion, that's everyone's opinion. Okay, so let's get into the last verse. We basically have 4 minutes, and I think you're going to knock this out of the park.
Yes. So, v'hakohanim, nosei ha'aron, עומדים בתוך הירדן עד תום כל הדבר אשר ציווה אדוני את יהושע לדבר אל העם ככל, or it's bechol, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah, okay, it is ככל אשר ציווה משה את יהושע וימהרו העם ויעברו. Finally got that.
וימהרו העם ויעברו. Okay, fantastic.
Yep. Oh, look, we have true topicalization. Because the priests
lead us through it.
The priests have formerly been introduced, so now it's switching back to the priests. The priests, and then you could make this a relative clause or a parenthetical note or something. That is the ones who are bearing the ark.
Apposition, right? Appositional clause.
Omedim b'toch hayarden. We're standing in the middle or in the midst of the Jordan. Ad tom kol hadavar. We've seen that before. Until every word was finished.
I don't think that this is a word, right? Thing.
Every matter, everything.
Yeah. All the matter was completed.
Yep. I think
which matter?
Basically what I said mostly.
Yeah, but if you say word here, word is something that comes out of your mouth. But this isn't. It's a matter, an issue, an affair.
Mm-hmm. Unless somebody's been speaking. Yep. So every matter was finished.
Not every matter, because that would be indefinite. Every matter. This is all the matter, the whole thing.
I always learned that it was all with a plural and every with a singular.
No, if you say every, it's with indefinite, because every is distributive. Everything, it's indefinite. But if you say all the thing, that's definite. It has to be the whole thing.
All of the matter, because it's a construct. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Which, Tziva Adonai et Yoshua, which God commanded Joshua. Verb subject. And verb subject because you have an asher there, so it's going to flip the word order.
Good. I'm looking at the word order. Of course, subject verb here. That's a participle. And then after asher, you've got the inversion, the verb before the subject. Good.
But according to Cook, participles don't trigger inversion. So
there's no inversion there.
Right.
Keep going.
Sorry, my medicine makes me sick, so I drink a lot of carbonated beverages. For some reason, that makes me feel better. Which Adonai commanded Joshua to speak to the people. 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗪𝗘𝗧. Now we have, again, everything which Moses commanded Joshua. So I bet there's a text critical note on that. 𝗥𝗑𝗦𝗪𝗘𝗧 ha'am. This is from the tomorrow word again, right? But it's been verbalized. So how would you translate that?
Vayimaru, they hurried.
Oh, yeah. Maher, not mahar. Yep. The people hurried and they crossed over.
Mm-hmm.
That is.
So normally this word would be ya'avru with patach, ya'avru, but it restores the historical form and pause. Ya'avoru, and this goes back to chataf, patach, ya'avoru. Great. You are absolutely correct in saying that there would be a textual variant. Verse 10, here we are. Okay. A is here, Yoshua. It says that not no manuscripts. It means a few manuscripts. Some manuscripts have El instead of Et. Asher tzivah Adonai El Yoshua. Some manuscripts have El. And letter B, oop, where'd that go? I messed that up, didn't I? Letter B, right here, this whole phrase. Oh, stop it. Stop. The whole phrase, Kechol asher tzivah Moshe et Yoshua. Okay, it says in letter B, right here, that it is missing, omitted from the Septuagint. Brilliant, fantastic, because it does seem ditographic. Seems like it's repeated. God commanded Joshua to speak, and Moses commanded Joshua. It's like it seems ditography. Brilliant, fantastic. Colton continues about Logos. Logos is much better for monographs and library building, and its mobile app is much nicer for annotating texts. Too long did not read. The app and libraries are a bit more expansive than Accordance. And Logos also has a fantastic indexing process by which word or text or books that you have in your library are very interconnected.
Yes.
And so that's a major advantage of Logos.
Yeah. I just had an idea. Perhaps that ditography is the preservation of two different traditions.
Like Genesis 1 and Genesis 2.
Well, sort of, but just one verse instead of a whole freaking chapter.
I don't know.
One tradition says God commanded Joshua. Another one says Moses commanded Joshua. So they just kept both of them. It's possible.
Thank you for having the name Jason. Woo, woo.
Facts, Cole.
Jason, I don't know how you say your last name.
That's
what are you doing? I'm addressing a comment.
I'm sorry.
So Jason Vergis. I don't know how to say your name. That's the problem with having international names. My last name is ugly. It's not Hare Krishna. It's Hare. But like Hare. Anyway, so Accordance mobile app doesn't even work on newer phones, at least not on mine. I've got iPhone 13, and I have no idea if Accordance app works, but Logos works well. I'm able to do some searches on my phone, and it helps a lot whenever I'm answering all these wonderful questions that people post on the Nerdy Biblical Languages Majors group on Facebook. So Colton says, no problem. I maintain resources in both softwares, but typically use Accordance. Jason, what it is? It has been quirky at times, but I've never had it just not work. We do have Wine Green. We will be meeting in 25 minutes from right now. And Colton admits that he made a mistake.
And he's also
made a mistake.
Z speak.
And we own you. We own you. I don't know. Oh, you guys probably don't know Muhammad Hijab. He is a crazy Muslim apologist. Crazy. And he says some of the funniest things. And so it's fun to imitate him. He's like, "Oh, you're stuttering."
Does he mean to be funny? Or
no, he's mean and aggressive, and he treats people badly. And he says nasty, perverted things to people whenever he's talking to respectable individuals, and he talks to them with the most filth you've ever heard come out of somebody's mouth. But anyway, if you guys are interested, I watch live streams all the time by the Apostate Prophet and by David. David. I can't remember his last name. David's a Christian. The Apostate Prophet was Muslim. He grew up Muslim and is now an atheist. And they talk about Islam, and they always end their broadcast by saying, "Stay away from Islam." That's what they always end it with. But David Wood.
Your mom
yes,
is here.
My mom is here.
Yeah.
Hello, mother. So go check out the Apostate Prophet and David Wood. Give them some love and attention, and enjoy and stay away from Islam. Remember, Am Yisrael Chai. And we'll see you in about 25 minutes.
Except for the peace-loving Islam.
No, Islam is bad. Islam is bad. Stay away from Islam. Muslims are not bad, all of them, but Islam is a bad thing, and we need to get rid of it.
Islamist.
Oh no, okay. Everybody should be free to believe whatever they are convinced of, but stay away from Islam. Yes.
Mama Hare says,
that's
sorry
just
that I'm late here.
Guys, it's been great seeing you. Please keep coming back. Like, subscribe, and sign up for Patreon. We'll see you in 23 minutes. Indeed, we'll see you in 23 minutes for Wine Green, Hebrew to English. Exercise 7. See you there. Bye, guys.
Peace. Bye, folks.